Okay, so we're up for that fight for third place between Marsilio Brown. He starts with a one-footed backy. Not such a big scoring move, but it's in the bag. He does like to whack out the jump scores. He's like one of those surfers that just scores lots of waves. Just gets loads in and just picks out his best at the end. Good way of doing it. Seems to be working for him. This is the losers final. This is Jager Stone from Australia, back on tour out of a few years' absence with injury.
Nice backy.
And qualifying to be a physiotherapist. Works all day, sails a couple of hours every night, and he's now in the battle to be.
He should be used to being knackered though in sailing, after all day's work. So surely he's gonna make it today for another heat. There we go.
Green room saying any chance of rushing through a double. I really
that would have to be a really very
the judges have been on it since early this morning. They're not going to put them through anymore. This is the last day, so this will be probably the last heat.
Prize giving ceremony at 6, I think. So we are at 5. We have 5 o'clock now. There's no chance for a double, I don't think. Not even for the ladies, which would take probably less time.
We've had some awesome action today. The conditions haven't been the best Pozo has to offer, but they've definitely been good, and we've seen some big moves from the top boys.
But definitely windsurfing was the best that it has to offer.
Definitely.
So
these are the best in the world, and that's why.
Oh, wave 360 from Brawzinho.
Off the back. Unfortunately, off the back. We've got quite a diverse tour at the moment on the calendar. This is the first event of a tour. Then we go over to Tenerife. After Tenerife, I think we're over to Klipmuller, Sil, France, Hawaii, and Chile if they all happen. I mean, that's a pretty good tour. Not
forgetting the indoor event in Poland.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget that. And that'll be interesting as well. Starboard tack jump ramp. Oi, oi, oi. Maybe he's getting a bit tired. Didn't get quite what he wanted on that double. Meanwhile, Jager Stone trying to rack up some wave scores. I'm going to say that's what you've got to make the most of. This is what the good guys do, and that's what he does. He does these really nice tail-out tackers, you know, less than ideal waves, but he makes them look proper rippable. Super close, everyone online giving it the big up. I think we've got a fair few people watching.
If there's fair few people watching, you can win an indoor ticket for the indoor on surfadvisor.com, adding your review. So get on there, and there's 5 double tickets. It's September 5th till 7th, biggest indoor event yet PW ever had. Coming up on the actual soccer stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. This man's going to be there, Marsilio Brown, the reigning world champion from 2013, and he likes the jump ramp. I was with him over there in Belgium when he last did it, and he was pretty handy, I can tell you. He was busting out one-footed forwards back then. I know Cowley was going and doing it. Maybe Cowley's going to come back. Would they give him a wild card? Who knows? It's up to Steve Allen, I think. But let's concentrate here at the Wind and Waves Festival in Gran Canaria, Pozo Beach. It has not gone off today, but the action has definitely gone off. The boys, you can tell they've been training all winter, and they have really put a show on today, and it's been really good to see. And we've had definitely a few upsets. I mean, this is, well, one of the men in this final, in the losers final here, Jager Stone, has caused a few of them. He took down Alex Mussolini in the first round, so he in fact sort of took over Mussolini's second seed and used it to his advantage and got his way all the way to this third playoff with Marsilio Brown. Ricardo Campello, he did the big scalp of the day. He took down Philip Costa. Costa pulled out some moves, but it wasn't enough for the wave score. I think they finished dead level. I mean, dead level. And it came down to the biggest wave score, which was Ricardo Campello. So super close heats. We saw Leon Jamea go down to Mauk. We saw, was that the end of a double? I think it must have been. Yeah.
Double? Yeah.
So double from Brown. And Jager saw that. So that's good news for the Jager fans. They might get to see a double because Jager has definitely seen it. Beautiful plane in tweaked push loop. That will score pretty nice. Full plane in, really tweaked. I like that a lot.
I like it
a lot. So at the moment, things not going too crazy on the score sheet.
Well,
that double,
we're missing a lot of scores. Both waves and jumps, so
we're struggling. The server's struggling at the moment. We're told there's too many people watching. Bugger off. No, I'm just kidding. But that is why we're having problems. A busy server.
Jake Stone also, he's 21, isn't he? He's quite young.
I don't know
still,
if he is. That's very young to be qualified physiotherapy.
21, 23, I think.
I think 23, I would have guessed.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know how long you have to study to be a physiotherapist.
Hey, it's Australia, mate.
Well, this is Marsilio Brown, and this is a big one. They call it the losers final, but this is a playoff for 3rd place and a spot on the podium. 4th place is always good, but you want to be in 3rd. You want to be on that on the podium, basically. That's what kind of makes it. I'm sure both riders well. I know Jager would happy with 4th here, but he will want 3rd, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he'll definitely fight for it.
He's got it.
He can have a rest after.
He's still putting in the moves on these waves, you know, trying to milk every wave, and the waves have got a bit softer as this afternoon has progressed. We're about 5 o'clock local time, so it's been a long day. You can hear my voice. It's already croaking. If you have just joined us, you missed all the action. Dida Moreno taking another victory here in Pozo. Abaya in 2nd. Amanda Beenan getting to her first 4-woman final. She made it into the losers final with Steffi Val, but Steffi Val takes a 2nd podium, I think it is. Last podium she was on in Silt, but her first podium here in Pozo. Interesting times in the ladies' fleet and interesting times in the men's fleet. This was, for me, a given that Costa was going to win this event. I shouldn't have even said that because we know competition can cause so many upsets.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of online surfing,
so
the ASP, and you see it all the time. There's always big upsets. When you've got wind and weather and waves involved, anything can happen.
Can't control the weather, they say.
No, you can't. This is Jager Stone.
So 7 minutes left of that heat, so we're halfway through, and so far we do not know who's winning because the scores are not coming through. We still didn't have that double score for Brawzinho dropping down. Maybe someone else seen it and he can tweet us. Oh, still not. So still missing quite a few scores.
Well, like I said, this is the last heat of the day. Pozo has given us just enough today to get everything finished. I think we've eked as much as we can out of it. When we started this morning, there was a few guys complaining. I might have been one of them. I didn't think it looked too good, and it wasn't great for the first few rounds, but then it picked up and it has delivered enough to get this competition all the way to the final stages, which I'm so glad it is. At one stage, it looked like we weren't going to get a result. And that seems unthinkable now when we've seen all this action. Goiter at the back. Marsilio Brown. Stone's seen that as well. He's seen all of Brown's moves. He's going to have to step it up, and he knows it. Oh, does he want that double? It's definitely harder doubling here than it is in Coronation Beach.
Coronation's got those perfectly
Australia.
90 degrees ramps in front of which is like totally flat, isn't it?
No,
Glassy
he's not double that time. There. He's turned around at the back. So it's Marsilio Brown.
We need to see the scores.
I think for Brown, he wouldn't be too disheartened with a 3rd place here, but I think he would have felt him and Victor, it was a very close heat, and it could have gone either way. It was super close.
That's how it is when it's really tight, really close, you know. Sometimes luck's on your side and sometimes not.
Okay, so this is Marsilio Brown heading out, looking for a wave. Would be great to know the full scores. We obviously don't know. And 5 minutes left in this heat. He's already had one good double. Will he get a better double? I'm sure he will. He doesn't seem bothered by the doubles. He
stole.
That is a beauty. 10.
That's a 10 for me.
For me, that's what Costa should have scored for his. 10.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely perfect stalled double. Jager is beat. He looks knackered. He told me he was knackered. He'd been dry heaving. Dry heaving, he said. He was just all over the place, knackered.
How many heats did he sail today?
No, a couple, but it's real stressful, real whatever you want to call it. Heat sailing with the adrenaline is right up there. And you know the way Jager rides, he uses all his body, all his energy, 14 minutes.
Plus it's very freezing here. It's quite cold on the beach, compared to Australia at least.
Got to be a 10 for Brown's double. Like I said, I would like to see them stalled doubles getting 10 if they're landed perfectly. There's not much we're going to see better than that today.
Stalled double.
I mean, what can you see better than that today? And that's kind of where I was at with that Costa stalled one.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of people attempt them today, Ricardo included, and not making them. Brown made one now.
including
before,
he's
crashed
included before and crashed.
And the only ones we've seen is Costa making one and now Brown. So pretty good to see. The level of world windsurfing is getting stepped up right in front of our eyes. And Costa is not going to have it all his own way, especially when you think Brown can do that on starboard tack as well. It's a scary thought, a very, very scary thought. Oh, we're getting a few compliments from the commentary. It's always nice to read. Makes your job a bit nicer when everyone's quite enjoying it. But it's been a pleasure actually doing the commentary today. The boys have been on fire out there. And like I say, in not the best conditions, but they've made it look good. And that's their job, isn't it? That's what
they made it look better and better.
Yeah, that's what they're paid to do. That's why the big boys always get to the top in the end. That's why I always say I'd love to see competition, but I think as much as Duncan probably has had stick this week for not running at certain times, this has been clearly the best day.
It is. I think it was more about the time on the other days than waiting till today.
Well, just 3 minutes left of this men's final. It's a losers final for the fight to be on the podium between Jager Stone and Marsilio Brown, but it's slightly one-sided at the moment. We don't have the live score working in our live booth here, but Marsilio Brown
10:28 for that double forward. So
looks on it. Yeah,
10:28. Yeah,
say it had to be in the scale that this heat was going. That had to be off the scale.
Oh, and the weight 360. From Brawzinho.
I mean, all that training. He is the world champion, and he is putting in a world champion performance at the end of a long day, and he just looks fresh as a daisy.
Ooh, nice stack up from Jager, but
you can see tired. He looks a bit tired. Marsilio, on the other hand, looks like it's his first heat. He just looks ready for another one. Top viewing, that's what I say. I think we've seen some of the biggest stall forwards I think we've seen in competition, especially from a few different riders, not just one rider. So the Aussies can be proud of Jager. He's done them proud all the way up into 4th place from a wildcard entry and a trials entry. And we might have to mention it's not his favorite spot, Pozo. He's definitely going to be looking forward to Tenerife more sort of conditions he likes, but he's more about the fin throw top turns, and Tenerife does suit his style. But you never know. There's some tough opponents, and it all depends where he fits in that draw. Sometimes you can get a really tough draw. I don't think it will matter who he gets, but I know he'll be praying for a few people. You know, there's some really good sailors in Tenerife as well. But no doubt he is capable of winning that event. And it will depend on the wind. If we saw lighter winds there, maybe we'd see Jager even come into it even more if we could see that. Possible. It's going to be probably 2 waves, 1 jump, maybe 2 jumps, maybe no jumps in Tenerife. So it's going to be advantage wave riding probably. And we've seen him pulling off the highest scoring wave of the day today. So it's definitely going to be a force to reckon with. Okay, we got Lucas on Twitter saying, can we have the scores for Brow's double? It's on there, 10.38. And thoroughly, I can't even speak. Thoroughly deserved. Yes, indeed. I'm very drunk. I'm not actually, I'm just knackered. Pas de triple forward set a Pozo. Yeah, no triple forwards this year in Pozo. Unfortunately, conditions didn't play ball, and normally we see it in the final, pulled off by Philip Costa, who's not there this time. Oh! Had to pull out of that one. What he did? He's getting into them. You would think he would be happy with his double. I think he's just having fun. I think he knows he smashed this heat. I think he knows he's had a good one, and I don't think. And I think he's been watching what's been going on. I think he was so happy with the last one. There we go. That is it. End of the heat. Marsilio Brown ends with a nice little backside 360 and a place on the podium. Jager Stone did Australia proud with a pretty solid 4th place in his first competition back on tour. Took down some big names on the way.